What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I am back with you for another one. So I got a few things to talk about. Pretty quick though, won't take too long, and then I got a press conference from Adam Gase and a handful of player interviews and stuff for you, so I hope you guys enjoy that. First and foremost, we can give shout outs to Albert Wilson. He won AFC Offensive Player of the Week this past week for his 6 catches, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns, his magnificence on Sunday. So congrats to him, shout outs to him. It's good to see a Dolphins player getting another award. Let's see, so I've got some injury news and some roster moves to tell you about. So let's see, Chase Allen was put on to injured reserve. Linebacker Chase Allen was put on to injured reserve with that foot injury that's had him out for a little while, and that's kind of been bothering him, I guess. So he's on that injured reserve now. But linebacker Mike Hall and center Jake Brendel were both at practice. This is their first week of eligible practice from the short-term IR. So they are back. They won't be able to play in a game, I believe, until week 9. They have to actually wait until week 9, but they can practice between now and then. So that's good. They are out there. They're getting reps so that, you know, even though Chase Allen's now, you know, on... Mike Hull basically replaces Chase Allen in that, you know, scenario or whatever. Linebacker, reserve, and special teams guy. And then Jake Brendel, you know, he's a center. He comes in. He can give us... He's going to give us some more depth there on that offensive line, which is good. Cameron Wake and Bobby McCain were both at practice. They are progressing. There is a possibility that they play this week, so that is really good news. And then also it looks like Ryan Tannehill will officially be out for this next game. They have already ruled him out with that shoulder injury, and apparently the NFL is investigating as to whether or not the Dolphins followed proper protocol in their reporting of his injury and stuff. I don't know, that's interesting, because I guess there's something strange to them that he was, you know, full participant in Wednesday and Thursday's practice, was limited Friday, and then just all of a sudden out on Sunday. I don't know. So I guess we'll kind of, I don't know, that's weird. But anyway, so it is what it is. In any event, though, he will be out, so that does mean... you know, Brock Osweiler is going to be taking, you know, those first team reps. David Fales is going to be backing him up, and he will be playing. Osweiler will be starting in this game against Detroit. And so there's no the closest thing I've gotten to a timetable so far on Ryan Tannehill is 1 to 3 weeks from now, so not including last week. So for sure this upcoming game, as we now know, and then possibly the Texans game, and then possibly the Jets game after that. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, though, we can get him back healthy as soon as possible. In the meantime, I don't know that I'm quite ready to say I'm confident in Brock Osweiler, but I am certainly confident in his ability to have command of the offense. That's never really been a thing. I'm not super confident about his, you know, I think Ryan Tannehill definitely has a better arm and can run a lot better than him, but he does have a command of the huddle in the offense. He does know Adam Gase's system. They work really well together, and I do have confidence in Gase as well as the rest of this team. The offensive line played so well last week, and if they continue to do that, we're getting bolstered on that offensive line. Like I said, Jake Brendel's getting back in there. So, you know, there's some... I guess there's more... Like, if I was going to say I was kind of on the fence about him, I would lean more towards the positive side, because I think that having, you know, that solid offensive line in front of him with the good running backs and tight ends and you know, the receivers and stuff, I think that it's not something I'm super worried about, you know? Like, if it was Jay Cutler, I'd be like, oh, fuck this, man. This sucks. Like, last year, you know, I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but you can't really. It's hard to get behind him, man. It really is, because you kind of always have that little seed of doubt. Anyway, so that's really it. I don't have anything else for you on my end, so I'm gonna go ahead and shoot you over to these interviews. I hope you liked the video. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You know, I'm working to get to 100. I need you guys to help me with that, obviously. So keep supporting, keep tuning in, spread it around. You know, send it to your friends and family. Make sure you hit the like button. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns in the comment section. You know, let's keep this going, man. I'm trying to push to 100. You know, trying to break that first milestone. You know, once I get up to 1,000, I'm definitely gonna do something special for you guys. A little, you know, celebratory video or whatever. Once we hit 1,000, that's a huge milestone. And you know, once we get, once we grow, couple more, you know, couple hundred people, you know, start doing some additional things, you know, start doing some Q&As, start, you know, probing you guys on things, you know, you might want me to talk about or do, you know, in my videos as part of the show and stuff like that. Start taking more of your input. I'm good to take it now for sure, but obviously once we have, you know, once the channel grows more, there'll be, you know, more people will be more active and stuff like that. I definitely want to do a Q&A at some point. Anyway, so, oh, and of course, make sure you follow me on Twitter, at Dillon Tartaro. My Twitter handle is on the end screen, so if you don't know how to spell my name, check that out. It's right there. So follow me on Twitter. With that, guys, I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna leave you to the interviews. I hope you guys enjoy them. I'll see you guys soon, and fins up.
Defense?
You know, they do a lot of man. They got a couple pretty guys up front. You know, just continue doing what we're doing. We're not too much, like I said, not too much worried about what they're doing on defense side of the ball. You know, we definitely respect what they're doing, but you know, we're gonna go and play our football. And, you know, just try to get what we got going, and see how things turn out.
You said he had a lot of reps with Brock. He said, he spoke for 12 minutes, that he never doubted himself, never doubted his ability. Did you always see a guy like that at camp where he felt, maybe you read his eyes or where he said something that, I know I can do this?
Well, he's very confident in his offense. He really knows his offense very well, and I guess, you know, when you know the offense and you can get out there and, you know, play fast, it gives you all the confidence you need.
The amount of throws you're getting, maybe 0 to 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, is it a lot more than in Kansas City, those types of throws?
I don't think so. That's pretty much what I was doing in Kansas City.
So what's been added to the package this year, obviously throwing a ball, running a little bit more than you did over the 4 years in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And beyond those two things, anything else that Adam has put in that's new for you?
Not just trying to capitalize off what I'm pretty good at. That's what he's great at, is just, you know, finding guys that's good at certain things and, you know, building off of that and, you know, just having guys play fast.
What's the reaction in the room during film sessions when they see your 2 touchdowns?
It's fun, you know, like it is during the game. Bring a lot of energy in the room, man, and just try to get back out. You know, when you see what a guy can do, man, it definitely makes you want to fight harder for the guy. So it brings a lot of fun.
Go ahead.
The 75-yarder, at what point did you think he had a chance of going around?
After Nick gave that block, when I got up the right side of the field and he gave me that block and I seen 2 of their guys and 2 of my guys, I pretty much knew we was going to get an end zone.
What's that like as you're going toward the end zone? You see your blocks be made, you see their guys, you hear the crowd get more vocal. You score a touchdown like that at home. What's that like?
It's a great feeling. It's all about energy, man. With me, is I try to bring as much as energy to the game as I can, and when, you know, you get the crowd into it, it's pretty unstoppable.
You ever peek up at the video board to see if anybody's behind you?
Most of the time, I probably need to stop, but yeah, most of the time I do.
And during those film meetings, when you see the plays, do guys start hooting and hollering on Monday when you're watching film of your 2 plays? How joyous does it get in the film room?
You kind of get the same reaction I'm pretty sure they gave on the field. It's great seeing it, man. It was a great play. So I definitely get a lot of good feedback and a lot of good energy out of the guys.
How do you know when you're in one of those plays when to cut it across the field like that? Tell me how I could do it.
Really just all about angles and stuff, man. It's just pretty much just knowing your speed, knowing the angles, and just putting yourself in the best advantage.
How much do you think it's when you're in those situations where you're making all those decisions on the fly in the course of a 43-yard play or a 75-yard play? How much of it have you thought out before, or how much of it is just instinct?
It's
You don't
all
even
off
know
of
where it's
reaction.
gonna take you.
It's definitely all out of reaction. Try to read my blocks and pretty much keep my guys in good positions and make good blocks and just reading those.
Have there been other guys that have that specific ability that you've enjoyed watching over the years? Maybe like Devin Hester or someone along those lines?
Definitely, you know, he's a Florida guy. I definitely watched a lot of him growing up. He's definitely one of my favorite athletes, so I definitely watched a lot of
Is there
Devin
anybody
Hester
else that
growing up.
comes to mind for you that you identify as having that same skill that you have?
You know, I was a running back growing up. Watched a lot of Barry Sanders. Definitely respect the way he makes God miss and turning nothing into something. So between Barry and Devin Hester, that's pretty much who I wanted to be growing up.
Pablo, what does the threat of the big play, I mean, just the threat of it do for defenses going against you guys, you feel?
Like I've been saying, have to protect the whole field. Not only when they get guys to throw the ball down low to check downs, they definitely got to make the tackle now. So from, protecting the deep ball and protecting the sideline to sideline, and now you have to, when you finally protect all that and you get a guy to dump it down, and now you got to rally and tackle him. And if you don't, big plays happen.
When you got a quarterback that will hang in there, you know what I mean? How difficult is it, number one, and how much do you enjoy that when you're going after a guy he's going to hang on to it till the last second?
As a D lineman, we love it. We haven't played too many quarterbacks who hang on to the ball this year. Everybody wants big sacks and interceptions. But we got the interception part. We're hitting the quarterback, pressuring the quarterback, but we don't have high numbers in sacks. But for us, it's don't change our plan. I know all the fans and everybody outside the building, they want to see production. Well, to us, we're producing. Now, the quarterback isn't going down with the ball in his hand, but he's going down. So this is a great opportunity for us. Matthew Stafford plays at a high level. He's a premier quarterback in this league, so it's going to be a challenge. They got great players. So for us, just stick to the plan and execute it.
People don't realize that they're trying to get the ball out quick against you guys.
For sure.
But this guy is not one of those guys.
I hope not. No. We thought we didn't have that a few weeks, and they happened to throw it pretty fast. So for us, is just stick to what we've been doing. The guys on the back end, they're going to get their hands on the ball and they're going to make plays, and they've been playing very well. So for us, is just stick to our script, keep getting better each and every day, and doing what we do.
As a DN, how hard is it? Because you know that once they start that little game plan, that you're rushing and the ball's not just getting out. How tough is it to keep going?
It can be frustrating, but we got great players in this room and in the D-line room and on this team. So it's frustrating because you do want those sacks, but it's when you start trying to force plays is when you start messing up the game plan and ruining the defense. So like I said, we get what we have called, executed, and keep playing at a high level. And for us, the main goal is to win, not to get sacks, So if we keep winning, we're happy.
That's what I was going to say. How important was that bounce back like that?
It's awesome, man. It's my first game back, so it felt good to be out there with my brothers. We had 2 tough losses, and we went out there and found a way to win. So that's important, and now we just got to keep going up from here.
Who likes to throw this weekend?
Most definitely. Matthew Stafford, great quarterback, college friend, teammate. It's going to be a challenge.
Hey, he's been known to, even if his guy's covered, he throws it up there. So you got to be aware of that.
He's confident in his arm. He can make every throw in this league. Got a big arm, good quarterback, veteran guy. So, like I said, it's definitely going to be a challenge for us, but I think we'll be ready for the challenge.
What is it about this defense that you seem to be around the ball, whether it's tipped, whether it's fumbled, whatever it is?
We got playmakers on the defense side of the ball. We just play to our ability. You know what I mean? we communicating, playing well. Give credit to the coaching staff. You know, they putting a good game plan together, and we just going out execute, and everybody playing their assignment, playing well.
How much is it going to help if Bobby can come back this week? Obviously,
You know, depth is always key. You know, in this league, adding Bobby back to the mix and the rotation is vital. Is crucial. I think he definitely be able to help us. Smart player. I mean, he definitely be able to help us.
how snake bitten have you all felt in terms of look at all the losses you've had with William, Hayes, Andre for a time, Bobby for a time, Cam for 2 weeks?
I mean, that's the beauty of the NFL, man. It's the next man up mentality. You know, one guy go down, next guy behind him should be able to come in and be ready to play. And I think we've been doing that pretty well.
Did you get a decent number of picks against Stafford when you get in practice?
We definitely had our battles at Georgia. We definitely did.
To the last second to pull the trigger. How aware are you of that?
You know, I think it's good for us. You know, we got some good edge rushers. You know, Dillon. You know, we gonna try to get pressure inside, and our DBs. That's good for our DBs. They're gonna stay in cover, so it's gonna all work together for all of us.
What do you know about their running game?
You know, they got LeGarrette Blunt. They got a rookie, number 33. He's pretty good. He's running the ball pretty good. You know, watching them today was our first time, you know, breaking them down, and you know, we're gonna get with Burke and them and our as a defense together and have a good game plan and just go out there and execute it, take it play by play.
Hey, how much fun have you been having, man? Just the way that your defense has been playing, especially the front guys.
Having a lot of fun, you know. A lot of guys, you know, we pretty close as a unit, you know, and I think if one person don't make a play, we get excited when the next person make a play, and I think it just help us out as a D-line.
Do you think that guy Gotcha could help you out a little more back there, man?
Yeah, man, funny, man. Funny dude, bro. I'm not. I just wash my face, bro.
What's the what is the mood? Obviously, the mood is light around here.
Yeah.
Why's that?
Man, when you winning, everybody happy. You know, you win a big game like we did this past week. You know, it came down to last field goal in our favor, so it was pretty good. So everybody happy.
As a defense, when you hear that your starting quarterback ain't gonna be able to go and Brock goes in there, does that light you guys up a little more on defense?
No, next man up mentality. You know, Brock, he familiar with it. He been under Coach Gase, so he familiar with the playbook and everything. And I think, you know, he'll be ready to step up.
And so, you noticing anything from opposing offenses, like in the second half, later part of the game, as they've been in the sun for like 2-3 hours?
You know, we practice in it. We do training camp in it, so we familiar with it. So it helps us out in our favor. So, like I mentioned, we used to it. A lot of teams come down here, and I think it helps us out in the fourth quarter.
Vince, we've so often, since the beginning of training camp, see you do something impactful every practice, be it a sack, be it a blocked field goal, something else. Do you have that in your mind? Obviously, you want to play solid, but do you have in your mind, I want to do something really impactful each time I'm out there?
I got to, you know, that's my job. You know, we try to go out there, make plays like he just mentioned. You know, my mentality is see ball, get ball. That's how I look at it. I ain't out there thinking as much as I was last year, and I think that helps me out.
It's huge. But whether I get snaps, whether I don't, you know, it's my job as a professional to be prepared and ready to play and help contribute to, you know, the football team. But in general, yes, getting reps with the first team offense and building some relationships out there in practice, it's huge. It's very beneficial.
Adam was talking about how you told him it was 58 games or so that he had heard you heard him call.
I told you about that. Yeah.
How was it that first time, and how is it now that you get a whole week of him playing for you?
You know, it's something that I've been wanting for a lot of years. You know, I talked quite a bit on Sunday about how much, you know, I believe in Coach Gase and his system and who he is as a person and a coach. And, you know, I saw that firsthand for a lot of years in Denver. And, you know, I saw what it's like to be able to play quarterback for a coach like that. And as a quarterback, that's the guy you want to play for. So to be able to go out there on Sunday and have him in my ear the whole time and working together on the sideline, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
You did a lot of waiting, I guess, in Denver.
A lot of waiting. I heard a lot of play calls come in through that earpiece that weren't coming in for me. So to go out there and finally be the guy pulling the trigger, it was a very special day.
Was there one play call where you're like, all right, I really like that, I dig that, I didn't expect that in this moment?
I wouldn't say that. There was a number of play calls that I absolutely loved, and that's what makes Coach Gase so special. But I think the really unique thing is I anticipated a couple of those, especially late in the game, because I've seen him do it so many times. I know what Coach wants when he calls certain plays, because I've been in that meeting room with him so many years, hearing where he wants that football to go. So there was times where, he's sitting there and he's looking at his sheet, and in my head I'm like, I think he's going to call this play. Sure enough, 3 seconds later, that play comes in. So, we were definitely on the same page, and that made it a lot of fun.
Terminology-wise, have things changed, or how easy has it been for you to pick it up if it has?
No, terminology is all the same for the most part. Obviously you change a few things over the years. Teams catch on to certain words and signals, so you change those up. But, for the most part, it's the same system that he was running in Denver.
You had a lot of big moments on Sunday. How about the moments where you were handing off to Frank Gore?
Oh, those are special. That's something I'll never forget. Watching a future Hall of Famer from the field level is pretty special. But, not just Frank. Kenyon had a tremendous day as well. Both those running backs ran extremely hard. The first guy wasn't bringing them down. They were running through arm tackles. They were jumping over guys. They were stiff-arming guys. Those guys definitely played very hard, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
I'm sure you weren't one of them, but there are probably people out there thinking this moment may never come for you again.
Yeah.
You don't seem like one who's going to show them wrong, but kind of how it feels to get to this point after kind of the road you take.
Yeah, I would say none of it surprises me. I think first and foremost, as an athlete, and no offense to anybody in this room, but we need to put earmuffs, if you will, and drown out all the outside noise, because the only thing that matters is your belief in yourself, and then the belief that your teammates and coaches have in you. Other than that, nothing really matters. And so, throughout my entire career, I've always believed in who I was as a quarterback, as a person, as a leader. And so, none of this takes me by surprise, but I would say it's special because in this league, you never know how many opportunities you're going to get, and every opportunity is different. So to be able to come here to Miami and get this opportunity to start some games, now it's all about just making the most of this opportunity.
Was there a point that you kind of doubted this would happen for you again at some point?
No, there was no doubt. It's just there's a lot of factors that are out of your control. You can control how hard you work, your effort, your attitude, how you're training, how you're studying. But whether you ever become, number one in the lineup, or whether you even get an opportunity to play on game day, a lot of times that's out of your control. So the key is I've been through some ups and downs, and I've learned so much along the way. And now it's all about just making the most of these special opportunities, because, like you just said, you don't know when you're going to get another one.
Talk about these ups and downs. The last few years, particularly for you, have been busy. Let's just
Yeah.
say. What have you learned the most, I guess, through that period?
How to pack up a house and travel. No, it's through times of adversity. I believe that there's great lessons that can be learned if you're willing to learn them. And that's something I've done. Whether it's been a good day or a bad day, I've always tried to learn something, so that I can be better, so that when another opportunity came around, I'd be that much better of a player. And I think that's something I've done. And I think the key is you can never lose belief in yourself. Because I think in this day and age that we live in, too many people are too fast to place judgment. So many people want to bring you down rather than build you up. And so you need to have a very strong belief in yourself, your teammates, your coaching staff. And like I said, you need to drown out the outside noise and focus on the things that truly do matter.
Brock, we all kind of seen over the years the gif of you reaching for your helmet in the Broncos game.
Yeah,
and Payne going
it's
back
the
to-
Raiders. Yeah.
How often does that come back to your mind? I mean, it probably just you laughed about it just now.
Yeah.
Is it something that always kind of recurs to you, like how much you had to wait in Denver? And
Yeah, it does. That was a funny game. That was a funny year. But once again, that's just a lesson to be learned. You never know when your opportunity is going to come, and it's all about preparing when no one's watching. And what I mean by that is, once again, focus on the things you can't control. You can study as much as you want. You don't have to be the first string guy to be studying more than the first string guy. So how you study, how you work out, how you go about your business, as far as being a professional, you never know when that opportunity is going to come, and it's all about being prepared and ready for when it does.
We saw Peyton at the game, this past week. Did he say anything to you?
Yeah, we talked before the game in the locker room, and I'm going to keep our conversations private, but needless to say, it was great to see him. It was great to have a conversation. We talked after the game as well, and on Monday morning, and Peyton and I shared 4 years together in Denver, and as you can imagine, all the time that we spend in this building and on the road, we really built a tremendous relationship. I think we both have a ton of respect for each other, and he's just a great person, and so to have him back in the locker room, it kind of took me back for a second, and it was a lot of fun. It was good to have him around.
Did you have to make sure he didn't have a helmet?
I'm pretty comfortable that those helmet days are done, but you never know with him.
While you waited during that time, what did you learn most from Peyton?
How to prepare. How to prepare for a game, and not just a game, a season. It didn't matter whether it was April, June, middle of August, October, how every single minute in the day matters, and how you go about your business matters, and it's going to rub off on your teammates. It's going to rub off on your coaches. How to set a standard and hold people to it. Something that we say a lot in the offensive room is standard over feelings. And I think that's something, when you have a group of professionals, people understand that. You're not always going to be someone's best friend, but if you're all working towards the same common goal of winning, there's a respect there, and that's something he definitely taught me.
Russ, you said Sunday that you first got a text, then a call that you were going to start. You became emotional. Did someone after that send you any type of message to say, hang in there, or wish you the best?
No. After I talked to Coach Gase and knew I was starting, it was pretty much just head to the stadium and get ready to roll. I didn't talk to anybody specific. I had a few conversations internally with myself. This game is so mental. When you get to this level, there's so many talented guys, physically talented guys. And we talk about in the quarterback room all the time that, really one of the few places that you can find, maybe an advantage on your opponent is mentally. And we have a couple guys in this building that do a lot of I guess you could call it mental performance work, if you will. And those guys are tremendous, and we work on that stuff all the time. So, you have a little conversation with yourself, get yourself in the right mind frame, and get ready to roll and go have some fun.
So how a couple more guys part of your mind? I mean, is there one person on one side, the other side saying you can do this, the other one saying I don't know?
No, it's nothing like that. It's just my confidence will never waver. That's something that's just naturally in me. That's something that's been built over the years. And I mean, shoot, you saw it on Sunday. Sometimes you're going to throw interceptions. How do you bounce back? You know what I mean? So it was nothing like that. It's just there's a different mind frame that you need to have if you're starting the game versus maybe taking in some plays from the sideline. Maybe a starter gets hurt and then you go in. So really, it's just getting ready to go from the first play and go have some fun with it.
So how different will this week be for you than last week was?
Won't be any different at all. Going to bed the same time, eating the same food, doing the same routine, studying the same way. Absolutely nothing changes except I'll get some more reps in practice, and that's really it, to be honest with you.
Is it easier or harder to have a game thrust upon you kind of suddenly as opposed to you're going to be the starter and you know it for an entire week?
Yeah, makes no difference to me. Really doesn't. I would say the only thing that you get knowing that you're going to be the starter all week is you get a little bit of input on the game plan. hey, what do you think about this route? Or, but really for the most part in this building, Coach Gase, Coach Loggins, Coach Hardegree, they put together the game plan, and we just go execute it as players. So even with that, nothing really changes. Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Anything that has to do with pocket movements, footwork, things like that. Basically, you can do everything, you just can't throw.
Adam, you're facing a stretch where you're going to play 2 games in 8 days. I know you're not looking ahead. Is there a chance you could return for that Thursday night game?
I don't know. I mean, legitimately, reading all the stuff that they gave me and all the opinions we got the other day, it's just an unknown for us.
Any update on Cam Wake? We saw him doing some individual stuff out there.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how he felt. Him just seeing him back out there is a good thing for us. So I'll probably get with him either tonight or tomorrow. Probably more tomorrow, just because the day after, see how he felt, and then hopefully we'll know, by the end of the week how he feels and whether or not he can go.
And how about Bobby McCain?
Same thing.
Adam, now that it's huge in the grand scheme of things, but is there any reason or thought process behind moving practice an hour later today?
Yeah, we had some extended meeting time, so we moved some things around.
You reviewed the film from the last game. Can you tell me some of the things that Tunsil and James specifically did well that made you very pleased?
I think that they did a good job, one, of executing what we asked them to do. We had some things that we did a little different protection-wise. And then, Laramie was one-on-one quite a bit. And whether it didn't matter which guy he was going against, that's always, a tough ask of any player of basically saying, hey, you're on an island all day and we need you to win. So he did that. And I thought Juwan did a good job. He had quite a few one-on-ones and did a good job getting hands on the defender and just stymieing him at the line to where, we were getting the ball out pretty quick.
How much do you think it'll help Rocky get all the reps this week?
I think anytime that you can, really dial in the game plan and make some adjustments as the week goes on, for that guy, that always helps. He knows the offense really well, and guys are used to kind of the way that he operates, and he's extremely loud when he calls out plays. So at the line of scrimmage, it's hard to miss it.
Was getting Akeem Spence from Detroit, did that start with Kosurik when he came in, or had you guys targeted him?
No, I think it started with Chris. I'm trying to remember the whole.
I'm just curious what the process was there leading up to getting him. If that was a guy Chris came in and said, this guy's probably going to be available and you need to get him.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the actual steps were, because we talked to them early in the off season, and then it kind of was like a dead period to where we had the draft, free agency, all those type of things, and we didn't really have as many guys as we were looking for, and then kind of went back to those guys again, and then they were interested. They were already kind of in their program, off-season program, so we finally got it to a point to where we figured out what we were good with them and what they were good with, and that's how it ended up happening. It was a long, drawn-out process, it felt like.
Why did you want him?
Anytime that you can, help a D-line coach, especially get some of his guys in there that know how he operates and knows how he likes to do things, it benefits the entire team. And, we thought he was a really good player. We really felt like he was a great fit for us.
Just one more question on Ryan. There's been nothing in the last 48 hours to change your optimism long-term for him?
No. What are you asking me? You talking about from?
He'll be back this year and all that.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Did he have a setback in the last couple of days?
No.
Adam, back to Tunsil, how high of a level is he playing at in general?
It's pretty high. The confidence level is extremely high right now with him. I think he's shown it on tape. I think that Cincinnati game showed everybody else how valuable he is to us and what he can do. And when we lost him, that hurt us.
Adam, is the interior of the line, at least last Sunday, as good as you could have expected with the two major losses at that position?
Yeah, I think the guys did a good job. They execute what we asked them to do and played physical, played long, played through the whistle. It was good.
How's Swanson doing?
He's doing good.
I think so too, yeah.
The two players that you all have designated that can return, obviously we saw on the practice field for the first time today. Is your expectation that they'll be ready to go in November, the first time they're eligible? And what can they add? Hull in particular, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you take it, you just focus on the 1 week at a time. Just make sure those guys are good to go. You don't want to do anything crazy and throw them out there too early and they're not ready. I mean, they've been out for a while.
Frank Moore obviously came here with a well-established reputation. What about him has surprised
Who's
you?
that?
Frank Moore.
Yeah.
What about him has surprised you the most?
Nothing. I mean, he's same guy I remember. He's a old school warrior, man. I mean, the other day he gave us everything he had. I mean, he laid it all on the field, and he went all the way as far as he could.
Matt Patricia referenced this today, and I think you said this before about your battles with him. That you guys sometimes get into this thought process of, what does he think? I think he thinks. I think he's going to call. Do you do that more with him than anybody else that you've battled over the years?
Probably, just because it feels like we've played each other a lot since 2013. So it's, it's always a tough matchup, just schematically. And then, we both know each other's kind of what we've done in the past. And it's like somebody going to reach back to something we did before or something new. It's just, there's a little bit of that going on.
Do you enjoy it any more so than any other week? Do you like
anytime
going
you go
against him specifically?
Yeah, when you go against people that you've known for a long time and that you're friends with, it's always a fun battle. Just the problem is he's had probably the bragging rights a little too much. So, but it's a challenge. When you're dealing with somebody that's extremely smart and does a really good job and prepares, and is working extremely hard to get his group right, that you need to do a great job, and you have to make sure that you work as hard as you can to make sure your guys are prepared.
Was there a time where you feel like you got too caught up and you got too bogged down in trying to predict what you thought he was going to do or something like that?
No, I feel like a lot of times we rein ourselves in by the end of the week. It might start out like that early, but by the end of the week you get everything kind of tightened down, and players will let you know if they feel like you're going off the reservation a little bit.
Could you call his defense for a game?
No.
Wouldn't you? You're not familiar with it enough that.
I mean, that's the other side of the ball. So, I mean, it's a different, like the way that I look at things and the way that defensive guys will look at things. There is a little bit of. He's going to do what he needs to do to win the game. So, I mean, it could be whatever he's shown. It could be new stuff. It could be something that they ran in 2008 in New England. I mean, it could be a lot of different things.
With someone that you battle as often as you going back and forth with Matt, without revealing state secrets, are you more likely to try something new or pull out something from a bag of tricks, throw a curveball in there than maybe you wouldn't with someone who's less familiar with what you do?
I feel like I've tried everything with him, so I don't know how much is. I think we're close to maxing out on that aspect.
With Brock, is there anything from Sunday that you saw that surprised you that you could build on, anything like that, or not?
No, I mean that's what I about expected. I think there's a few things that we just need to make sure that we're all on the same page. But I mean he's really. When I was with him before in Denver, he was ready to go. By my last year there, so that would have been his third season when I left. He was going on his fourth season, so. I mean, it was just a matter of time before he started playing.
We know how you handle Tannehill, but when you get into the backups with Brock, is it Brock's game no matter what, or do you evaluate it during the game as far as whether you might go to David if it's not going well?
No, I'm good where we're at right now. I know what Brock brings to the table. I know what his strengths are, what he likes to do. So it's, I'm real comfortable where we're at right now.
And we saw Brock throw it away a few times to avoid a sack or avoid forcing a bad throw. That's something he's talked about since training camp, and he actually executes that. Does that come easy for him, or is that something that he's had to learn over the years?
It's probably something that he's developed over time. It's hard to remember exactly if he's always been like that. I mean, there's a lot of practices and preseason games, so I mean, you're talking about a lot of stuff that's probably been erased from my memory. But I mean, he learned from the best guy that he could possibly learn from. So that guy, Peyton never took a lot of sacks, and when you get to sit behind a guy like that for as long as he did, be in meetings every day, hear him talk through games afterwards, I mean, that's valuable.
Talk about way behind Peyton. There was a lot of times that where he could have got frustrated during that time. Do you remember having conversations with him about that?
No, he never worried about it. He just kept working. He knew what the deal was, and he knew any year could be the year, because I know there was my last 2 years in Denver. I mean, both seasons when they end, I wasn't sure what was going to happen with what he was going to do, if he was done, if he was coming back another year. So, we were all in the same boat. We were just, we stayed present, and we knew what it was at the time, and then if something changed, then we adjust.
I guess you left before he actually was able to, start being a starter. Did anything change between that time and him?
He's been the same guy since I've known him. I mean, I think he was like 20 when we drafted him. So, I mean, he was young, but he's always been the same guy. He's always been a vocal guy. He's been a hard worker. That was the thing that we loved about him was, they always described him as a gym rat. He had almost like that basketball, work ethic where it was like he was always in the gym, and that's kind of what he was with football. He was always in the building. He was always doing something, whether it be in the weight room, be throwing, studying tape. He did a lot of things on his own.
And with O'Leary able to do a number of things very competently, has that expanded what you're able to do, or what you're comfortable doing in your playbook?
I mean, we're always going to just keep trying to grow through the season, kind of try to use the guys' strengths to our advantage and avoid any kind of, something that they're not as good at, and stay away from it. So I feel like he's done a good job with some of the things that we've asked him to do. There's a couple of things that I know he'd like to improve on, but I think that group's done a good job. All those guys are, they all have strengths that we really like.
For you and Brock working together again, is this kind of like a sense of unfinished business, maybe? Getting to do something that you guys couldn't do?
Yeah, it was fun calling the game for him. It's just something that we never really got to experience. I mean, there was a couple games where he got in there and was like mop-up duty. It wasn't for him because that was his only opportunity. So, but the calls change, and it's so different when you're up and he's in there, and we're running the ball more than not. More times than not. So this was good. I forget how many games he said. He told me, he was like, it's been 58 games I've heard you call. So this will be the first one that's real.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the interviews. I hope you enjoyed the show. And as always, if you did, please hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, post on Facebook, whatever. Hit the like button, and definitely leave me some comments, questions, concerns, anything you'd like to see or hear in the videos, stuff like that. So definitely let me know. And of course, the most important thing is subscribe. So with that said, I'll see you guys soon, and fins up.